A few days ago, we posted a map, just a simple gallery. The automated license plate cameras we could find around Callaway, Graves, and Marshall counties. We thought a few people would be curious. It became the most shared thing this page has ever run. The question people kept asking in the comments wasn't really, where are the cameras? It was a harder one. Who is watching them? Who can see where your truck was on Tuesday? And when did anyone around here get to vote on that? So we went looking for answers. Some of them we found in the company's own records. Some of them we're still asking for. And some of them should probably worry the people who love these cameras and the people who hate them, both. They are made by a company called Flock Safety. If you've driven through Murray or Mayfield or down a county highway, you've almost certainly passed one. A small black camera on a pole, pointed at the road. It is not a speed camera. It doesn't care how fast you're going. What it does is photograph the back of every single vehicle that passes, day and night, and read the plate. But it captures more than the plate. By the company's own policy, each pass records the plate number and state, an image of the vehicle, its make and color, and the exact date, time, and location. Put enough cameras together and you don't have a plate number, you have a pattern. Where a specific car goes and when, over and over. Flock deletes each read after 30 days by default. 30 days is a long time to know where everyone has been. Here is the part most people don't know. These cameras are not islands. They feed a shared network, and any agency on that network can search the others. You don't have to take our word for how far it reaches. Flock publishes some of it on a public transparency page. On that page, one Kentucky sheriff's office lists exactly who it shares its plate data with. On the list, the Callaway County Sheriff's Office, the Graves County Sheriff's Office, the Mayfield Police Department, alongside Paducah, McCracken County, the Kentucky State Police, and the Kentucky Attorney General. So a plate photographed here in the purchase can be searched from across the state. We looked for the Murray City Police, Murray State, the Marshall County Sheriff, and Benton on that same network, and did not find them listed. But your county sheriff is on it, and nobody put that on a ballot. Now, the cameras work. That's the honest part, and it's why they spread so fast. When a car is stolen, when there's an Amber Alert, when a plate is tied to a wanted person, the system checks every passing vehicle against those hot lists and pings an officer within seconds. Police departments all over the country will tell you these readers have recovered stolen vehicles and closed cases that used to go cold. Sheriffs don't buy them to spy on you. They buy them because a camera that never blinks solves crimes. That is real. If the story ended there, this would be an easy sell. It doesn't end there. Because the same thing that makes the network powerful for good makes it powerful for anything else. By the company's own marketing, Flock cameras read more than 20 billion license plates every month. The ACLU estimates somewhere between 80 and 100,000 of these cameras are now up across the country, on highways, in neighborhoods, outside the hardware store. What that means in plain terms: the camera watching a road in Graves County is one node in a machine that can be searched nationwide by a stranger with a login. The question stops being what happens to the honest cop doing his job. The question becomes, what happens on a bad day? Here is a bad day. Earlier this year, an official at a sheriff's office in Johnson County, Texas, sat down and ran a single search across this national network, looking for one particular person. Set the reason aside. People can argue about that. The part that should stop you is the reach. Records later obtained by the Electronic Frontier Foundation show what that one search touched. More than 83,000 cameras, almost 7,000 separate networks, all at once. Not cameras in Texas, cameras everywhere the network reaches. One official at one small sheriff's office most people had never heard of could sweep 83,000 cameras across the country in a single afternoon. Some of those cameras are here. That is the design. It works exactly that way for everyone who has a login. And you don't have to go to Texas to find the misuse. Last year in Louisville, a police officer named Roberto Cedeno was charged with multiple felonies. Prosecutors say he used the city's license plate system to track an ex-partner and her friends, hundreds of times over 2 months. He is one of at least 14 officers the Institute for Justice has documented nationwide, most of them just in the last 2 years, accused of using these readers to follow the person they were obsessed with. Almost every one of them was charged and lost the badge. The system logs every search. It logged theirs too. The logs didn't stop them. They just recorded it while it happened. Then there's the plain machine error. Flock says its cameras read the plate correctly 93 times out of 100. Sounds high, until you remember 20 billion reads a month. 93% still leaves well over 1 billion misreads every month. Most of the time, a wrong read means nothing. Sometimes it means everything. The Institute for Justice has counted dozens of innocent drivers pulled over, held, even jailed, because a camera misread a plate or an officer trusted the alert too much. In nearly 2 out of 3 of those stops, officers had already drawn their guns before they realized the mistake. This February, in Sherwood, Arkansas, a camera misread an SUV. A couple was ordered out at gunpoint, while their 6-week-old baby sat alone in the car behind them. All of this is now in front of the courts. In Norfolk, Virginia, 2 residents sued their city over its network of 172 flock cameras. They argued that tracking every car, all the time, with no warrant, is a search, the kind the Fourth Amendment was written about. Early last year, a federal judge refused to throw the case out. He compared it to the Supreme Court's ruling that police can't secretly track your cell phone's location without a warrant, and wrote that a reasonable person could believe the Norfolk camera system crosses that same line. The case is still going. What the judge would not do is call it obviously legal. Which brings it home to Kentucky. For years, these cameras ran in this state under no state rules at all. That changed 6 days ago. On July 15th, a new law took effect. House Bill 58, Kentucky's first attempt to put guardrails on license plate readers. It caps how long the data can be kept at 90 days. It bars agencies from selling it. It requires every department to write down who can use the cameras and how. And, this one matters, before an officer can pull you over on a camera alert, the law now says a human being has to look at it and confirm it with their own eyes first. That rule exists because of the gunpoint stops. The cameras were here long before the law was. Now the law is trying to catch up. So here is where we are and where you come in. We know from the company's own page that our sheriffs are on this network. What we don't yet know is the rest. How many cameras, where exactly, what they cost the county, and what the new written policies actually say. Those are public records. They belong to you. We're planning to reach out formally and ask for them, the contracts, the costs, and the policies, from Callaway, from Graves, from Mayfield. When we get answers, or when we don't, we'll show you exactly what came back. That's a promise, not a maybe. None of this is a verdict. The cameras catch real criminals. The cameras also let one person, on one bad day, follow anyone they choose. Both of those are true at the same time, and pretending otherwise is how you get lied to. All we're asking is that you know it's there. That the black camera on the pole down your road is watching. That your county is part of something much bigger than your county. And that until this month, nobody in Frankfurt had written a single rule about it. You asked us where the cameras are. Now you know a little more about who's watching them. What you do with that is up to you.